One of the best things I've done in my classroom is to have a class mascot. And it's something that happened kind of by accident, but it ended up being one of the best ways to create a sense of identity and community and eventually led to a really cool project. So, first, I want to introduce the mascot. It is a print by a Portland, Oregon artist and illustrator named Ryan Berkeley. His work is really whimsical and fun, and it's a big hit with kids. In 2021, I was hired to teach art at the new online school that my district opened. This was a long term plan. I saw myself doing that through the end of my career. And because I was working from home, I got rid of all the things that I normally decorated my classroom with. Unfortunately, 2 years later, the district decided to close the online school, so I was going back in person. And it was a big transition point for me because I was going from middle school to elementary. I was starting with a completely bare classroom and setting up a whole new art program from scratch. So not only did I have to get everything, supplies and set up, but I had nothing to put on the walls. So I quickly stuck the picture of the cat up on the wall. I named it Art Cat and decided that that was going to be our mascot. I also had a little dry erase speech bubble that I put next to it so Art Cat could communicate with the students and send little messages. Not too far into the school year, a student handed me a drawing they had done, and it was of the mascot, Art Cat. And I put it up on the bulletin board, and Art Cat made a little comment in the speech bubble. And wouldn't you know it, another student made a picture of Art Cat and another picture, and another student, and another, and it kept going until it was just something that happened whenever students had a little extra time or maybe they wanted to bring in something that they'd made from home. And it was pretty great. It just kind of naturally became a mascot. And pretty soon, the entire bulletin board was filled with pictures of Art Cat. Toward the end of the second year of Art Cat drawings, I decided I should probably do something with them. And I got some inspiration from a wonderful artist and parent educator who works in our building. Her name is Sarah Cooper. She works with our two communication behavior focus classrooms, and she collected pieces of art from every single student in those classes. She got doodles and scribbles, and she even found ways to incorporate elements from students who cannot use tools or who struggle with fine motor skills so that everyone was included. She put in quotes and all the fun and funny, sweet things that they say. And she just captured so beautifully the essence of who they are. And I was just so impressed. And so that inspired me to make a version of that for the classroom. I had a big roll of primed canvas, so I stapled that onto the bulletin board. And then using a foam pad and some scenic painting techniques, I just really quickly painted the background in bright colors. Then after that, I started cutting out and Mod Podging the art cat pictures on top of it. I also had some other student drawings that were really fun, so I added those to the mix. I ask students for more drawings, and sometimes those are art cat and sometimes they're not, but art cat is still a central theme. Now, I realize not everyone is going to have the time, the resources, or even the inclination to make a mural from your mascot, but having one in the classroom and allowing students to creatively interact with it, whether it's through drawings put on a bulletin board or in an album or just conversations that you have about the mascot. Maybe the mascot does funny things in your classroom. Maybe the mascot can send little messages. Maybe the mascot is in charge of handing out incentives if you use those. But there are lots of great ways that you can incorporate a mascot into your classroom. And I'm so glad that I did it in mine. For me, it's been a great way to showcase student artwork, to create a sense of community, and to avoid having to constantly change bulletin boards, if I'm honest. Anyway, just some ideas to throw out there. Hope you found something useful. Have fun.